All right, Kim Baker here with the Victim Survivor Conqueror Ministry, coming to you on this Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock with Facebook Live, YouTube Live, uh, Twitch TV, and Twitter. We're on Twitter now. All right, tonight we're starting a brand new study topic tonight. Reconciliation. I probably will have quite a bit of side comments about some things as we study this topic. But tonight, if you would, as you log on to Facebook, if you would please hit one of the buttons. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, let us know. First time, last time. Hope not, but anyway. Down in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see where it says vscministry.com. That is our website. You can go to our website. You can download this study material or any of the other 8 classes that we offer. Okay. All right. If you notice my screen behind me, you notice there that you can't see the gloves that the man has on his hands, but they both have a pair of boxing gloves on. Now they are hugging and kissing. So, is this which one of these 2 pictures is a picture of your reconciliations? Boxing gloves being used or hugs and kisses? Okay. All right, well, let's get into tonight's lesson. Reconciliation, restoring broken relationships. Okay. All right. There are 3 major reasons for broken relationships. Okay. Can you name one of them? Can you name 2 of them? Or could you name all 3 of them, do you think? Okay. So let's look at 3 major reasons for broken relationships. Okay. Number 1, I hope you can see this, miscommunication. Absolutely, miscommunication. Number 2, misbehavior. And then number 3, misinformation. Okay. All right, let me go back here. I'm going to go back one. Okay. All right. Miscommunication. I think, this is just my belief, I believe that the majority of broken relationships stem from this right here, miscommunication. Okay. Either I failed to convey what I really was talking about, what I meant, or you misunderstood what I meant. Okay. So when we're having confrontation, when we're having a confrontation or trying to reconcile broken relationships, communication is paramount. Okay. It's huge. Okay. So not only if we are the ones that are conveying a message, we need to try to be sure that we're very clear and specific about what we're saying. Okay? And if you're on the receiving end and you're not real sure what is meant, okay, then we need to clarify. Okay, wait a minute. What I'm hearing, and I don't know if this is what you meant or not, what you're trying to say, but, and then repeat back to them. Okay? Because why? If we don't clarify, okay, we know the old saying about assumption, about assuming. When you assume, you make the first three letters out of yourself, don't we? Yeah, we do. Yeah, very much so. So miscommunication, okay, very important. Misbehavior, okay, yeah, we understand that. It's going to happen. Misinformation, okay. But whenever we are being involved either in confrontation or reconciling, we have to make sure that we get our communication down right. Okay? All right, moving on. Ooh, Lord. You have a relationship that you wish could be reconciled. Do you? Who would that relationship be? Would it be your mom, your dad, stepmom, stepdad, brother, sister, daughter, son? Okay. All of us probably could answer and should answer yes to this. Yes, I have a relationship that I wish could be reconciled. Okay. Yeah, I do too. Okay. I have some relationships, some family relationships that are broken right now. And the greatest gift that I could receive right now would be to have those relationships restored. Okay? So yes, even I have relationships that I wish could be restored. Are you willing to do what it takes to restore that relationship? Yes, absolutely. Yes. I can answer 100% for myself. Yeah. That meaning that I'll admit where I was wrong, admit that maybe I was abusive when throughout the years I probably would have told you no way that I was. Okay. And You can judge me for that, but I'm going to tell you, every one of us is guilty of being abusive in some area of our life. I will guarantee you that. Okay. Does it always end in broken relationships? No, it doesn't. But a lot of times it does. But it doesn't. And this question is not, hey, are you willing to watch your husband do whatever it takes to restore a relationship? Maybe you're in a broken marriage. Maybe you're separated right now. Maybe you're going through a divorce. But are you willing? Are you willing to do your part and take responsibility for your part where that relationship failed? Well, here's the thing we need to understand. And I'll throw out congratulations to Brian Serrano, because Brian Serrano was one that said this in class one time. He said, you know what? Here's the issue. If I'm 2% wrong in a relationship, then I need to take responsibility for that 2%. Okay? It's okay to look and say, well, you know what? I was not 100% at fault. And nobody is. Okay? If you're in a broken relationship right now, don't sit there and say, well, it was all my husband's fault. It was all my wife's fault. It was all my kids' fault. It was all my mom and daddy's fault. No, each one of us is responsible for ourselves. Okay? And if you're out there and you are in a broken relationship right now, strained relationship, however you want to put it, are you willing to take responsibility for your 2%? All right, moving on. So, what is reconciliation? What does it mean to reconcile? Okay. Reconciliation is the act of settling or harmonizing differences. Okay. All right. We're going to be in harmony. Okay. We're going to agree to walk in harmony together. Okay. And especially in resolving differences between one another. Okay. And while a relationship may not always be salvaged, the spirit of reconciliation always reflects the heart of God. Okay? And you may be out there and you may be saying, okay, wait a minute. So what you're saying, that maybe my relationship can't be salvaged. Okay. Maybe not. I don't know that. I don't think you probably would know that. Only God knows for sure. Okay. But here's the key that I think that we need to take hold of and try to grasp for ourselves is that For one, we're commanded to offer reconciliation. We are commanded to seek reconciliation. Okay? But what if this relationship can't be restored? Okay? Well, for one thing, if you went into it with a pure heart and with the heart of a servant, okay, then you can take from that and say, God, I've done what you asked me to do. Okay? I came into it with a pure heart. I came into it with a loving heart. You know what will happen? The next time that you are faced with this same situation, it will be easier. I can promise you that. And every time we do it, it'll get a little bit easier and a little bit easier. And before you know it, it'll be second nature. Okay? All right. All this from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 18. Okay? There we go. There's our command. And yeah, it really is a commandment. Okay? All right. Can you name the 4 types of reconciliation? The 4 types. Okay? 1, relational. Okay? That's what we're mainly talking about, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. But there are 3 others. Okay? It is to bring broken relationships into harmony. Okay? For 2 people to agree that we're going to walk a path. We're going to walk a path together. Okay? All right. Next is personal. Okay? Personal. To be at peace with our circumstances or with ourselves. How can we be at peace? Or can we be at peace with ourselves? Well, first and foremost, we need to learn that not only are we to offer forgiveness to others, but we need to offer forgiveness to ourselves. Okay? What? Forgive yourself. Third one is financial. Okay? It's to bring accounting records into agreement. It's reconciliation. Then, lastly, is spiritual. To be in harmony with Yahweh, with God. Don't you want to be in harmony with God? Yeah. Then reconcile yourself to the Father. There are many stories of reconciliation in the Bible. Okay. Which one's your favorite? do you have a favorite story that talks about reconciliation? Next is, what have you learned story? Okay, what have you learned from that story? So, name one of the most popular biblical stories concerning reconciliation. Joseph and his brothers. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. This is probably one of my most favorite Bible stories uh, that we have. And he kissed all his brothers and wept over them. Afterwards, his brothers talked with him. Genesis 45, verse 15. Okay? When we truly start down a path of reconciling broken relation, there's probably going to be some weeping, and that's not a bad thing. Okay, men, it's okay. It's okay to show emotions. All right, but we know from the story that Joseph was prepared for how his brothers were going to react. His brothers didn't have any idea. They did not recognize him. He recognized them. But we see that he kissed his brothers. He hugged his brothers. And he wept over them because he knew that even though they meant to harm him, they tried to kill him. They sold him into slavery. But it didn't work out the way they thought it was going to work out. No, because what? He become one of the chief officers in Potiphar's kingdom. Okay? So, what is alienation? Alienation occurs when a person withdraws or separates from another person, causing one to be excluded from others. Okay? Have you withdrawn? Have you separated yourself from others or from another person? Have you caused others to be excluded? A friend loves at all times, and a brother was born for adversity. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17. Do you ever feel like you've been alienated? Why? Okay. Have you ever been, and why? Okay. All right. Name the 4 types of alienation. Relational. Okay, here we go. Unfriendliness or hostility towards friends, family, or the values of others will cause people to be alienated. Personal. Withdrawal from people or difficulty in developing relationships with others. legal, alienation of affections, marriages ending in divorce, spiritual, separation from Yahweh and from God because of sin, because we've allowed sin to creep in. Yep, absolutely. Okay. All right. So, what is mediation? What is mediation? Okay. Now, we're going to pick up right there. I'm going to go ahead and stop there for tonight. I knew we weren't going to get very far tonight, but we'll pick back up here with what is mediation next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. But tonight, I'm going to, before we close for tonight, have a video. The name of it is called Baggage. Okay. It's by the Skit Guys. If you're familiar with the Skit Guys, they've been doing skits for 12, 13, 14 years, something like that. I don't know how long they've been doing it. They've been doing it a long time. But anyway, here's a video about baggage, and then I'll be right back just as soon as it is over.
When I was 9 years old, my mom and dad split up. It was a pretty big deal, but I didn't know how to talk about it. Some of my friends' parents were divorcing. They seemed to do okay with it, but I thought my world was being ripped apart.
I just don't love you anymore.
Why can't you give this just one more try?
I started packing things away. Maybe I would run away. Maybe I just wanted to protect the things I love the most and have them close to me all the time.
Why are you being so unreasonable?
Joint custody was not my idea.
I carried my suitcase to school, friends' houses, to church, everywhere I went, really. And for a couple of years, no one saw it. Or so I thought. And then one Sunday at church, my class teacher asked me about it. She said,
Annie, looks like you're carrying a heavy load there.
I told her it wasn't heavy because it was all the things I loved. And I opened it up a little bit to show her what was inside. I tried to tell her about Little Bear and how scary he was sometimes. But instead of helping me, she gave me this big Bible and she crammed it inside my bag, and she told me that if I would accept Jesus, everything would get better. But I never saw Jesus. I just got the Bible. And it made my bag heavier. I tried to concentrate on my schoolwork, but I couldn't. I had so many bags. I had teachers who put a lot of pressure on me.
Annie, you have so much potential.
They kept telling me how smart I was and how if I would just study more and work harder, I would make better grades and I could get into a really good college, which I really wanted to do. I know they couldn't see all that I was already carrying, so they loaded me up with all the books I would need to learn what I needed to know. There was this one kid in my math class. We talked sometimes.
Hi, Annie.
And then one day he put a gun to his head. A bunch of us attended the service, and all I could think was he probably had a lot of bags like me, and he just wanted to blow them away. Then someone told me about Jesus. I said, oh, no, you don't. I'm still lugging around a big Bible in this bag, and all it is heavy. No thanks. They said, Jesus said, come to me, anyone who is tired of carrying all their bags, right? Who isn't? Come to me, and I will give you rest. How? I'm so tired. And they said,
Look,
what?
his arms.
So?
They're open.
They were nailed open.
So you could put your bags on them.
I can't.
Then lay them at his feet.
They will come off me. They won't come off. I've been carrying them for so long.
Put them on him.
I can't. I can't.
Now I can trade these ashes in for beauty and wear forgiveness like a crown. Coming to kiss the feet of mercy, and I lay every burden down. As we lay every burden down at the foot of the cross. At the foot of the cross.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in tonight. And again, if you tuned in on Facebook, if you would please hit one of the buttons before you log off, get out of the page. Also, remember that if you did miss part of it, you always can go back on either YouTube or Facebook or Facebook page and rewatch it or watch it at a later time. I know we have quite a few people that do that. They just tune in once it's done on their own time, and that is perfectly fine. Thank you very much for that. Okay. All right. Remember, next Tuesday night, we'll start back up with what is mediation. And this Thursday evening, if you are in the Midland, Odessa area, our support group will be meeting Thursday night at Amet Hatara at 3319 North Golder Avenue in Odessa. And we'll be starting our study and discussion of guilt, the difference between true and false guilt. Okay? All right. Have a great rest of your week, and God bless.